Falstaff the Paladin breathed in with great difficulty. "Would it kill you?" he croaked. "To at least let me rest for a day or two before the resurrection spell." The appropriately named Faith concentrated on her healing mantras for a moment. "The longer you're dead, the worse things get for you. Do you remember the brain damage incident? I remember the brain damage incident. And let's not talk about the intestine regrowth from the last time your body went missing on a battlefield." "You're talking as if that's my fault," grumbled Falstaff. The absolute worst thing about being revived was feeling the things that had happened upon death. The release of bladder and bowels was always the most mortifying. Feeling his death wound heal was always the creepiest. "I'm no longer in charge of my body when I'm dead, you know." "I know, but it's difficult to keep that in mind when you're on a quest for a fortnight." Feeling more blood generate was surreal. Falstaff knew better than to move whilst his priestess was still healing him. "It's not as if I could do anything about it. I need 5 more levels before I can petition the gods to guide my friends." Faith finished her chant. Once again he was unmarred by life as a newborn. Almost. Faith had learned that some things, like calluses and other adaptations to living, should be left as scars. Falstaff found that to be the most disturbing part of being an adventurer. He was younger, physically, than his childhood friends, some of whom were starting the slow slide towards the end of their lives. As long as he was adventuring, as long as people like Faith were raising him and healing his injuries, he was the next best thing to immortal. And yet he could feel his old wounds, regardless of the absence of any scars. Sometimes he felt tired of adventuring life. If he hadn't made such a foolish vow, he'd have let time take him as it has taken some of his friends. Falstaff rose from his bier. He could feel Faith's sanctification of his body working more magic than her healing. Evil was swarming outside the warded healer's tent, and he had vowed to defeat all evil in all its forms, all over the world. He had had no idea the world was so large, nor that evil was so rife. Falstaff picked up his sanctified blade, said his prayers, and stepped back into war. Horrible, endless, repetitive war. End scene. A merry time zone to you, and thank you for watching this presentation. I'm the Internatter, sometimes known as CM Weller, on the professional writing circuit. Wish I could get there, to be honest. I wrote this story some significant time ago and read this post as a video a lot sooner than now. If you want to see these fresh, check out my PeerTube site linked down there in the dibble-dobble. Try PeerTube. It's like YouTube, but without the horse shit. If you want to read these even fresher, I may want to kiss you on the cheek and give you a big hug, but you can find them on my hub site, also linked down below. If you want to sponsor me, there's a Patreon in the link spam downstairs. New Patreon patrons will get special thanks in my next fresh tale, and maybe a picture of a critter I took while I was out in meat space. Once again, thanks to my special sponsor list on screen, or it might be over there, I don't know yet. And thanks to you for watching so far. Big kiss to you. Mwah!